Hi guys, I'm Shmee, and today I'm going to take you on a full introduction tour with my new car, the Porsche Cayman GT4. Now, regular followers will know that whenever I buy a new car, I tend to try and go and show you everything there is to know about it, all of the options and specification that I've chosen, and a little bit more detail about the car in general. Now, I picked this car up actually about a week ago now from the Porsche Centre in Colchester. I'd flown back to the UK, picked it up and immediately drove it to the Eurotunnel across to France, down through Lyon and the Route Napoleon to where we are now in the absolutely beautiful hills of the French Riviera above Monaco. If you look down through here, you can just catch a glimpse of the town of Monaco down there at the bottom. Now, we had an absolutely amazing drive down. I was convoying with Paul from Supercars of London in his Gallardo and Sam from Seen Through Glass in his F-Type R, and also with my friend Seb Delaney down with us too. So I've already done about 2,000 kilometers on the car. Well, between myself and my friends who are driving it, because I've brought all of my cars down here to enjoy in this beautiful weather with the lovely roads. But 2,000 kilometers, about a week of ownership, so I've started to get the hang of it and have a little bit more to tell you about. But let's take a look around the car up here in this awesome location. Cayman GT4, my car is sapphire blue. It's a lovely colour. The car obviously fits in with my blue crew, the three blue cars, the McLaren being a lighter blue and the Ferrari being a dark blue. The Porsche being almost the baby of the three, sat in the middle in a very middle sort of shade, but it's a lovely blue, sparkling in the sunshine here, the low late afternoon sunshine. The Cayman GT4 itself, well, you probably know it's a mid-engine, rear-wheel drive car, as per all Caymans, and the Boxsters without the roofs. The GT4 specifically is a very impressive piece of kit though. This has a 911 Carrera S engine in it. So it's basically a Cayman with a 911 engine. Makes 385 PS. Has a 6-speed manual gearbox. The suspension from the 911 GT3. Likewise, the tyres as well. So we've got Michelin Sport Cup 2s. They're incredibly sticky. Wonderful, wonderful tyres. I don't have the carbon ceramic brakes on my car. It was a slightly pricey option. And I bought this car to be my sort of daily fun, summer, exciting, sort of toy, generally buzz of a car. And it is exactly that so far. It's a fantastic machine. I'm loving every single bit of it. There's no question about that. And like I say, the miles so far have all been truly brilliant, except for the fact that I did manage to almost immediately pick up a puncture that I've just had replaced. And we've got new rubber now on the front of the car, a little bit earlier than it was otherwise needed. So from another sort of options point of view, on the exterior, I've got the black supports for the wing, the fixed rear wing that sits here. Obviously in here, we've got the 3.8 litre flat six engine. I've gone for the platinum coloured wheels, 20-inch wheels all round, which is the standard size. Now, ride is obviously firm, but it's not too bad from driving the car so far. By way of a little bit of fun, on this car I've got my Shmee number plate, SH15MEE, about as close as you can get in the UK to Shmee 150. And I have SH10MEE on the Ferrari. We've got the sports exhaust system, which is standard on the GT4, sounds awesome. And from a sort of looks point of view, it's just a spiced up Cayman. It's 2 centimetres lower. It's got these wider flared out vents at the side, obviously for extra air flow through to the engine. Around the front, slightly more aggressive, lower, new extended front splitter. Just generally quite a cool look to the design. I think it takes that Cayman and really gives it some road presence. We've got a bigger lip spoiler as well on the back of the boot lid above the Porsche GT4 lettering, just here. Other options I have on the car, well, we'll get to the inside shortly, where obviously being a Porsche, there are a lot of electronic technology sort of things you can have. The list is pretty extensive, actually, about what they offer. But other sort of things to think about, I've got the Bi-Xenon headlights. I come round, which comes with the Porsche dynamic light system, twisty lights that bend as you're driving. I've got the large fuel tank, 64-litre fuel tank. And I think actually that might be it for the outside. So we'll head over to the inside. But the first thing to show you is the key. Body colour painted, sapphire blue to match the car. Seems to be a thing I'm doing. My McLaren has a matching key to the car as well. The Ferrari, alas, not yet, but I might try and find somebody who can paint it. I love the key, the shape of the Porsche with the buttons for lock, unlock, boot and bonnet. On which note, let's just open up the boot, show you that quickly. Pop that, lift up the rear, and you've got this sort of luggage space here. Total luggage space in the car is 425 litres, which is not bad at all. I love that strut bar across through the back. And you can put some extra sort of light things in there. And random fact, I think a lot of people don't know, there are these little storage buckets here, one on each side. They actually go quite deep, so things could very easily get lost in there, and they're quite awkward to get to. So that's a very random thing that I think most GT4 owners will never find in their cars, those storage buckets there. And you can close the boot with that giant ironing board. When we come around the front, have a look at the front boot, which pops up again with the key. There's a little latch under here, if I can find it there. Pop it open. Got a tyre inflator and a pillow in the car. You can tell I'm a road tripper. So that's quite a big boot, and it comes back underneath. You can fit loads of stuff down there, so that's great. Usual fluids and things up here at the front. Close it down. Solid press on the badge. So yeah, from the outside I think it's a pretty cool looking machine. Like I say, I've got the road setup as this car goes, with the adaptive sport seats that we'll see in a sec. And not the ceramic brakes, but the setup for me is so far absolutely brilliant. So normally you'd unlock. Let's take a look inside. Now then, the light is going to cause troubles for me here, the very low sunlight, but you can see the seats, the 18-way adaptive sport seats. They have brilliant side bolstering, and they are very, very comfortable with the mix of Alcantara and black leather. Down here you can see all of the controls. You can do all sorts of different things. These are the side bolsters. Tighten them, release them. This moves that front section forwards or backwards. You've got lumbar support in the backrest. Just about everything you could sort of imagine ever wanting to have in there, really. With the black leather combo, I've got the grey stitching, which I sort of combined with the grey finish to the interior trim, which goes a bit with the chrome finish on the steering wheel, and generally sort of for me made that nice little all-round package. And I did Porsche exclusive as well as the key. I also did Porsche exclusive seat belts to be grey to match the stitching and the seat backs. So I sort of thought a bit about making the whole package. I love the grey silver colour against the blue paint with the platinum wheels. It's all about thinking about this whole lot and how it all works. Now you've got the GT4 door sill badge here. You've got levers to open the front boot and the rear boot as well there. And let's step in actually. I might start the engine up. I'm going to start the engine up with the door open so you can hear it, so I can get the air conditioning rolling because it's quite warm today. There we go, flat 6 roars into action. Just turn my radio off. Cool fact, door handles, they have these grab drawers, like seatbelt almost kind of door pulls, which is quite nice. Sports heritage. In the doors you have a pocket here, you can fit some decent stuff in. This front pocket as well. I've got the upgraded Porsche sound system, so there are speakers all over the place. Makes for a pretty good system. Close the door. Now we kind of got the aircon blowing a little bit hard on us. Like I said, I didn't go for the whole racing setup, so I didn't go for bucket seats, Sport Chrono, and the PCCBs, Porsche ceramic brakes, because for me that whole setup was just a little bit hardcore, and I wanted to make it a nice road car that I could enjoy driving a lot, and just take out whenever I want, and not sort of feel like it's too hardcore. You know, I've got the McLaren 675 LT as a pretty hardcore car, so this is a little bit more chilled out than that car. So what else do we have in here from an options point of view? I did the Porsche Communications Management, that's the navigation system with the screen. I've got cruise control, which is the stalk just down there. I've got heated seats, which are controlled from in there. I sort of feel like that's almost a must. Looking around, let me think what else we've got. The Sound Package Plus, the mobile phone preparation. And I think that's more or less it. Obviously there are an awful lot of things you can add to these cars. The car starts at £65,000 and mine ended up around 74, I think. List price, new. I'm sure you know if you're a car person. that these are turning out to be quite good investments. So as much as I'm going to enjoy using the car, I have to be slightly delicate with it because the value is ever increasing. So looking around, Porsche Communications Management, if you're unfamiliar with it, everything you sort of expect. It's a touchscreen system, navigation, bring up the map, you can see we're up in the hills above Monaco. You've got iPod, which is all controlled from in here. Tons of rubbish in here, sorry. There's an aux plug and a USB down here for the iPod. Having a cigarette plug because I like having my phone up on the windscreen. All the books down there. The world's most over-engineered cup holders on Porsches. You open that flap, then you open out the two cup holders, and you can close the middle part of the flap. And I think a lot of Porsche owners don't even know they have cup holders there. And then you close them back up with a push, like so. Or you could just have one out rather than both. So that's quite nice. We've got lots and lots of air conditioning vents. You can adjust where the air comes from, which one of the dials. Dual zone climate control. I think that was actually an option. Everything you expect to see down there, and nothing I can really specially show you. Then we've got this, the 6-speed manual gearbox, which is fantastic. It's got a very short throw, so going into gear is super quick. Fantastic feel to it, although a lot of people are complaining out there about the gearing being set up a little bit too long. You can get to 82 miles an hour in second gear, which is fairly nuts, but I'm loving that because that means if you're driving it, you're often moving between second and third on a nice road, and that's not too many shifts down, and it can auto rev blip, back up, down, up, without sort of constantly feeling like you're at the gearbox. So I like it. I'm going to do more talking about how it is to drive in the future. Underneath here we've got the sport button, which, well, basically turns on rev blipping when you change gear. So if you were in second and you blip down to first, it would automatically raise the revs to match. We've got sports exhaust, and we've got the suspension setting. Now, the standard suspension setup is how Porsche have configured the car for the Nürburgring. When you press that, it puts the chassis in sport mode, which gets a bit firmer, but really on the road you're not going to want that, only if you're on a hardcore racetrack. And beneath that we've got ESC off, and ESC and traction control off, where everything starts to get a little bit fruity. It's quite exciting, but I haven't done enough miles yet really to play with that. Then in here we just have an armrest storage pocket with another cigarette socket. Around front we have an electric handbrake down here, release, turn back on, light control here, mirror controls on the door, this stalk that controls the right display. Let's talk about the displays all in actually. Top power, peak power comes at 7,400 RPM, rev limiter red line slightly above that. You've got basically the big central rev counter, the speedometer just beneath it. Left side analog speedometer, pretty useless because you have 0 to 200 miles an hour in less than 180 degrees of a circle. Top speed being 183 miles an hour, 295 kilometers per hour, mostly down to the gearing. Then you've got the odo and the trip beneath that. Then on the right screen, this is quite nice. You have a lot of different things you can show. Fuel gauge at the top, and you can use this lower stalk to go up and down through a variety of screens. So initially we've got the trip screen up here, which just has your usual kind of information. Down once we're at tyre pressure monitoring, which has been very important with all these flat tyres I've been having. One more, performance gauge, which is quite nice. Press it away, you can get into a torque gauge. Oh, press it away and then press it away again. There we go. And you've got a torque chart, so you can see where the sort of top peaks of the torque are available. This is all quite entertaining and geeky. Go down again, we've got temperatures and oil pressure, details of the sound, your audio you're listening to, your phone connection of course through the Bluetooth, the navigation map showing where we are right now, destination set, where we last set it to, and back to the trip. So you've got lots of lovely screens and bits of information you can play with on there, which is wonderful. Up here, just the lights, usual kind of stuff you expect to see. Vanity mirrors, pretty standard stuff up there, and sounds so nice. This car actually sounds brilliant. Oh, and because I've left the engine running and opened the door, it's letting me know. So let's switch this off. Let me show you down here actually. Look, 3 pedals. I've shown you this already, but everybody should get very excited about this one because there aren't many cars around these days that have one of those. And it's absolutely a joy to drive this car. And it's a shame that manuals are not desperately common anymore, although I think Porsche are working on some other things with interesting gearbox choices, so watch this space for those. But I'm loving this. I'm absolutely loving GT4. It's such a fun car to drive, and it has so much grip. That's one of the craziest things. When you're driving it, it just sticks, especially on the really, really twisty roads. The tyres are fantastic, absolutely phenomenal. But all the car, you can feel it all. You can feel the aero dipping you down and just holding you in on the corners. Wonderful experience to drive. So yeah, this was the car I bought to sort of be, I guess, almost my daily alongside the McLaren, but then I worked out it was a bit more special than that. So I'm going to sort of drive the McLaren, the Ferrari and the Porsche quite evenly, mix them out, drive whichever one I want to at whatever time it is, and just enjoy them. But for down here, on the kind of roads we have in the local area to where I am filming this, there is no better car to drive. The small size of the car, the ease with which you can position it, the fantastic grip and handling. It's just an absolute delight, and it's no surprise really that they sold out so quickly. Be about 2,500 across the world, and I believe just over 200 in the UK in total. But yeah, it's an amazing machine. I love it so much. I'm very happy with the specification I've chosen. Lots of driving enthusiasts might tell me I should have bucket seats, but these seats have ample amounts of support. And for the kind of usage I want, you know, some of this kind of driving on cool roads, but also some usage in town and just general daily fun driving. This is definitely the right combination. All I need to do now is get it to a track and enjoy it in the proper environment. So hopefully that will happen in the not too distant future. I want to use the car how I would say you are supposed to use the cars, so that's definitely on the radar. But there we have it, an introduction tour to my new car, the latest Shmeemobile, the Cayman GT4, a very special car and one I think I surprised all of you with when I revealed it. It's been a long secret since I ordered this car, quite a while back now, through to delivery. So again, big thanks to everyone who helped me get this car through the Porsche Centre Colchester, because I put them under some insane time pressure to get it ready for this trip, to bring it down with me to the south of France. But I am so pleased it's here. It's an absolute dream. I'm going to wrap us up there though. Thank you very much for watching. Hope you enjoyed that sort of tour of the car. For plenty more though with this car and other supercar content, make sure you're subscribed to the Shmee150 channel, and I'll catch up with you again very soon. Cheers. Hi Nick, how are you?
Hello, welcome.
Thank you very much.
Hi, nice to see you.
Pretty excited about today. I can see the car over there. Let's go straight inside.